Man, there's some wild stuff, right? I got into this conversation on Twitter. Let me see if I could bring up the conversation. All right, so this is what I was talking about, right? So this thing got posted. All right, so the actual post, it says, just in, Taliban have banned all Afghan women from attending university and higher education. That's the tweet. Next thing was this lady, Andrea Catherine. A lot of people know her. I don't know. She's some political shit. I don't follow politics like that, to be honest. And then this isn't a political post. This isn't going to be an agreement or disagreement. I have my opinions on the actual post itself, but this is about one specific person and how stupid people are on Twitter, okay? So this has nothing to do with being politically correct. This has nothing to do with this argument that's in this post. It has to do with my argument with another person that's based solely off of fact. She said, in America, universities and higher education turn women into blue-haired feminists with they-them pronouns. Maybe the Afghans are on the right side. Crazy take, but again, we're not here to discuss any of the politics in this, or whatever. So I want to make this clear from the start. With this thread here, all Afghan women, this is important, women in America, universities and higher education turn women into blue-haired feminists, okay? Somebody responded, the list of American women who became dignified, admirable, strong, and fantastic leaders after attending higher education is long. You are dead wrong on this. That was his response. Then Alexis here goes, let's compare those to the number of blue-haired feminists that shout and go bacon on the floor when they can't get their favorite flavor coffee. Okay? Now, my assumption is when she says blue-haired feminist, she's talking about women, correct? You would think that she was talking about women because this whole thread is about how Afghan women cannot take higher education, and then how American higher education turns women into blue-haired feminists. This is about women. Okay, this thread is about women, regardless of anybody's opinion. I think everybody, Republican, Democrat, male, female, whatever you are, you can agree that this post is about women. So somebody said, I only know two people like this, and they are both male, and they love Starbucks. Then Alexis has to come in with this fantastic rebuttal. Yeah, notice I didn't use gender there. I simply said feminists. That includes men too. Who the fuck would assume that you were talking about men in a thread that's all about women, correct? So she's basically, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So she's basically saying, right, if you think about what she's saying that there are more men and women combined who do a certain activity or habit or whatever than only women do. Yes, if you take 50% of the population and compare it to 100% of the population, then that 100% of the population probably does it more than the 50% of the population does. So I came in, I was like, original post said turns women into, so the implication is that the blue-haired feminists are in fact women. So to say you didn't use gender is irrelevant if not specified, as there wasn't clarification on your behalf in a post that's specifically about women. I was like, well, but it's Katoshi's fault, because Katoshi right here was the one who said that. And then I go on to say, also, the post you directly responded to said list of American women who, and your response was to compare that to the number of blue-haired feminists that you were talking about that could be male and or female. Why would you compare the entirety to both genders when the person you were responding to was specifically talking about the number of women, right? So then, smart lady here, you are taking a lot of liberties to distort what I said. I said exactly what I meant. You're the only fucking one, Alexis, who knows what that is, because you're not making sense. And I said that. Makes no sense. Argument seems invalid. I mean, what else is there to say? Has nothing to do with the politics of this. Has nothing to do with, I'm not even giving an opinion. Like she's a grown woman. Yeah, I know, seriously. That's Twitter for you. Then she goes on to put this right here, whatever the fuck. I don't even care, because her point is, think what you like, man. And I didn't even give my opinion here. I didn't give any opinion on the situation whatsoever. I didn't say that I agreed with or disagreed with anything. Think what you like, man. The destruction of families has been planned for a long time. That's what the fuck does that have to do with anything that I'm saying? It has nothing to do with anything. I said this has nothing to do with anything I'm saying. I don't give a fuck about it. Opinion on either side. I'm not going to change how you feel any more than you'll change how anyone you're arguing against would feel. All I'm saying is to say that you didn't mention gender in a reply to a post specifically about women is flawed. I don't think I'm wrong here. And then she goes on to say, no, you went straight up implying and distorting everything I said rather than taking it as face value. What the fuck is your face value? My face is right fucking here. I have no idea what your face value was supposed to be. You went 0 to 100 aggressively straight away, not willing to listen, and still not. Unlike you, I like to look at different points of view, which I do. I do like to look at the different points of view. I will listen to the argument on either side, even if I disagree. And I was like, and tried to understand your side until you basically contradicted your own argument. So when I'm reading something, even if I disagree with it, she immediately said something that completely collapsed her entire fucking argument. It doesn't matter anymore. It's irrelevant. You took everything that you said and you destroyed it, and you beat yourself. I don't even have to prove anybody wrong. You beat yourself. The other thing that she said was, she said, yeah, because she was disagreeing with me basically, and she's like, oh yeah, you kind of seem like a blue-haired feminist. And I was like, okay, so yeah. So after I said that, also the post he directly responded to list of women, and then she said, I have a feeling you are a blue-haired feminist right now. So I was just like, great rebuttal. You totally sound like you believe you know what you're talking about. And, it was just crazy. And the reason I point this out is because the funny thing to me about Twitter, Lexus definitely didn't get her Starbucks. Straight up. And the thing about this that's funny to me is that I get in so many little not scuffles, but arguments with people like this on Twitter. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of the keyboard warrior I don't give a fuck what you think. I just like to point out, and this was dumb shit. Like I said, I wasn't even arguing a side. I wasn't getting political at all. I was addressing one flaw in an argument, and they went full-fledged on that argument without any cause to what they were actually talking about. You know what I mean? Which is fine. I mean, I do it for the content. It's just fun to, have these screenshots to look back on and be like, man, this fucker was stupid. But yeah, it's just people on Twitter are they're something. It's just because, the funnest part about it is because believe it or not, despite what I look like, I'm smart. I have a couple degrees. I do shit. And what's funny about it is the people that engage into these arguments, they think that they're smarter than they are. And they have herd mentality. So somebody's saying it, they can use anybody else's argument. They can just jump in and wail and all kinds of shit. And it doesn't matter because they're always going to believe that they're right no matter what they hear. And they're so dumb that it's so easy to win an argument against them. And as much as I did go 0 to 100, I never insulted her. Not one time. All I did was list like my issue with what she said. And then she has to be like, you sound like a blue-haired feminist. Must be great being you and all. It is pretty fucking awesome being me, okay? Like, thank you. But like the funny thing about it is like they're so dumb. Like you can tell somebody when you get somebody to a point where they can't even argue their own point and they have to resort to insulting you, that's when you know you won. Like, guess when you know you won the argument. They can't even continue their own argument because they're not educated enough on their own argument to continue the argument. You know what I mean? She's really aggravated. Yeah. And because she's probably getting it from a lot of people too. And you probably get frustrated when it's like if I know that the square root of something times something divided by something is something else, and somebody told me the answer, and the answer is correct, and I can definitively tell you the answer. And when somebody's trying to prove me wrong, I can't show the work because I don't know how to get the answer. I only know the answer because somebody else told me. The reason these people get so mad is because they don't actually know it. They think they know it because somebody else told them the answer. But if you ask them to show their work, they can't show their work. You know what I mean? Because they don't really know. They believe it because they want to, not because they actually believe it, not because they took the time to find out. So when I do something as small as insult a minor grammar issue, it wasn't even insulting her point of view. It was insulting how she went about the conversation, and she blew up. She started hitting me with graphs and shit that she found on Twitter and Google. And I didn't even ask for those graphs. That had nothing to do with my argument. For all she knows, I could agree 100% with the original point, and I could be all on Afghan's fucking side. But she doesn't even know. Yeah, gets mad over a mistake. And then she goes in defending it and fighting it, but she completely got off the subject of the men being feminists and went a whole 90-degree, took a left turn somewhere and was gone. And when so the thing is there are these delusional people that think that they're smart on Twitter. So when you start these arguments with them, it's just fun to watch them implode and then leave thinking they won. Told him, must be fun to be you. And then they're gonna go back and argue with somebody else on Twitter because their life is so fucking great. I do it specifically for fun. I'm not defending anything. I do it because it's entertaining. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you believe. And I meant what I said. I'm not going to change your belief any more than you're going to change anybody's belief who you're talking to. And the funny thing too is, so for example, there was something that's been going around right now that's proof that the FBI or whatever killed JFK, right? That's been going around on Twitter lately. So somebody posted, oh, it's been proven that the FBI assassinated or bought the gun that assassinated, basically that it was their fault that JFK was killed. So somebody asks in the comments to provide proof. Like, oh, where'd you hear this? Can I see proof of this? Is it published anywhere? Like, because it just came out of somebody's ass. And all these people start slamming, oh, you fucking libtards, you can't see what's right in front of you. That's your problem, is you don't fucking read. It's like, dude, I don't even know where the fuck the article is to read. Send me the article and I will read it. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny to think that the Republicans, when all the defund the police and anti-government and all this shit, the Capitol building getting stormed, it was all the Republicans blaming it on libs or Democrats or whatever, blaming it on them, like, oh, you hate the government, you hate police, you want to defund police, but if they were gone, this and this and this, and they were, back the blue and all this shit. And then as soon as something comes out that JFK was assassinated, they're like, oh, you fucking libs defending the government at every turn. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Pick a side. Like I said, I don't care about politics. Democrat, Republican, I don't give a fuck. They're all crooked. I don't fuck with any of them. I'm not any of that shit. I don't vote and I don't do none of that because I'm not going to be responsible for the outcome. Because either way, it's going to be shit. And no matter what side you're standing on, if your side is the side that wins, then your side is the side to blame. Not to praise, to blame. Because nobody praises anything good anybody does. They only blame the bad shit that happens. To be honest, I'm like, yes, you shouldn't. I don't I'm not about to vote. It's crazy. And people get all, oh, you got to vote. Yes, you're the reason they're winning, whoever the fuck they are. Because I'm not gonna. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't. I live in Colorado right now. My ID is still from California. I can't vote here. I'm not registered to vote, none of that shit. But if there were certain policies that I really felt strongly about, then I would vote for those policies. But I'm not going to vote for a human being to be in control of any other human beings. And the issue with that to me is, even when you agree with something, like you agree with, oh, we need more money for schools. But then it's like, oh, we're going to raise taxes and we're going to take money out of this project and this project and this project and take money from these people and cut welfare to give more school, So it's just, there's always a catch. There's never anything for nothing. Everything is for something, which, of course, money has to come from somewhere, right? But, I feel like the government has been taking my tax dollars for, a couple decades now, and I don't have much to show for it. That's why I choose not to vote. People can have a problem with that. People can say that I'm the problem. Fuck it. What's the difference? From the time that I'd say I've been driving, working, basically fending for myself as an adult through Obama, through Trump, and through Biden. And the thing that I can tell you about all three of those presidents is my life has not changed. I got the same bills. I got the same job. Well, type of job. I'm doing the same shit. No significant action in my life. Oh my God. Gas has gone up $2 a gallon or $1 a gallon or whatever. Okay, gas went up $2 a gallon. I have a 10, I usually put 10 gallons in my car. 10 times 2, I'm spending $20. Motherfuckers are going out spending $20 on a shot. And it's like, your gas is what gets you from point A to point B. Sure, it's not ideal. Don't get me wrong. I don't like paying more money for gas. But people are doing dumber shit with their money. Maybe if you conserved a little bit and didn't go out, because there's people I know who complain about it, who go out and party every fucking night, spend $100 a night going to the bar after work and shit like that. You're complaining about an extra $20 a week on your gas. Like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending the gas. I'm just saying they go so hard to fight for certain shit because they believe that that's they're with their brothers and shit on their side trying to fight against and say it's this side's fault, and it's just all fucking, it's stupid. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to help anything. It's not going to fix anything. No matter how fast your fucking Twitter fingers are, it's not going to solve the problem.